The following program is a presentation of Jez Sports.
Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Main Event Podcast. My name is Dan. That is Jez. How are you doing, Jez?
Doing all right, yeah. You know, usual age-related problems, like my back is failing me and I can't remember anything, and the weather's bad, so it makes my bones hurt. But other than that, dandy.
Hunky-dory.
Yeah. How are you?
I'm very well with the belt on my shoulder. Although I feel like it's not going to be on my shoulder.
The pins are ready for me for me to display it in all its glory.
Yeah. I won't be the GOAT for much longer.
You won't be the GOAT for much longer, but
and
there will still be a GOAT.
Yeah.
On the Main Event Podcast.
We'll get right into that. The GOAT that is on the Main Event Podcast is our sponsor, which is GOAT Energy Drinks. Lovely, tasty stuff. You better go grab yourself a case of their all-natural energy drink in original mango, which is the horny goat, which I'm sporting right here, or the absolutely sexual cherry that Jeremy is doing the chef's kisses for.
C'est magnifique, as Del Boy would say.
Is the better one, I would have to say. I have to agree. If you want them, go grab yourself some at goatdrinks.co.uk and enter the code JEZ10 at the checkout for 10% off and free shipping.
Yeah, I feel like we're going to run into a bit of an issue soon in that we do our best to alternate who has the mango and who has the cherry each week. Yeah. But when I come to restock, I'm not sure I'm going to buy the mango. I think I'm just going to buy the cherry.
You're just gonna have to stick with the cherry.
Yeah, so then we'll just, and I assume, you'll be in the same kind of mindset. So, yeah, we'll just be drinking the funky goat all the time. And poor mango will never get a look in. But yes, indeed. The GOAT drinks, the GOAT of energy drinks. I did think you were talking about me when we were talking about a remaining GOAT on the Main Event Podcast, but
you're an old goat.
I am an old goat. Yeah. Like, I think is it Kung Fu Panda when they've got that goat mentor and they have to go and see him and he's just really old, but he can still kick your ass. Like,
I don't know.
Yeah, I might be mixing up my animated movies, but I'm that goat.
Maybe you're that goat. Oh yeah.
I may creak a lot, but I'll still kick your ass and take your title.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
Yeah. Speaking of goats, we're going to kind of mess around with the format a little bit. We're going to do one piece of news that's pertinent to the shows that we're talking about, first of all, and then we'll save the rest of the news for the end.
Yes.
Okay. So speaking of goats, the first bit of news that needs to be discussed, and it broke literally minutes after we went off the air last Thursday.
Yeah.
Kazuchika Okada is leaving New Japan Pro Wrestling. Originally, it was to be at the end of the month. He has since agreed to freelance for 2 more shows in February. But basically, the time is nigh. He has wrestled his final contracted match for New Japan Pro Wrestling. So, first of all, your thoughts on the fact that he's leaving New Japan Pro Wrestling, and then we'll talk about where he might end up.
I think it will be good for him. Spread his wings a bit. I just hope wherever he ends up, he doesn't get lost. If he goes to AEW or WWE or Impact or whatever.
TNA.
Yeah, TNA, that one. I just hope he doesn't get lost in the shuffle, as it were, in
TNA.
AEW, right. AEW has got such a packed roster. A lot of big stars have gone there and just gotten lost. WWE, same thing. So I don't know, but I presume he'll go where the money is, really, because he is the Rainmaker.
He is the Rainmaker. He does make it rain. That much is true. Yeah, it's an interesting conversation about where he's going to go. I do think, as crazy as it sounds, that leaving New Japan is absolutely the best thing for him because, and they even addressed it on commentary in the shows, what more can he do in New Japan? He's done it all. The only thing he hadn't done was win a team-based title. But as he said in his leaving speech, the never 6-man tag team titles fix that. So he's not going to go and win the IWGP tag titles or anything like that. So, he's done it all. There is really nothing else he can do other than be a stepping stone for young talent. And I'm not sure that that's particular fun for him, really. He doesn't want to be a Tanahashi who, is a shell of his former self, hobbling around with dodgy hips because he's pushed it too far. I think he wants one good run somewhere else for a few years, and then maybe back to New Japan for just to finish things off. But I mean, in terms of making the most impact, pun intended, TNA would be a good choice because it's the only place where they can center everything around him and make him a big star. He will be the big fish in a small pond there, and will be the marquee name that brings people in. AEW, I think you're quite right. I think he will be lost in the shuffle there. It's an even bigger roster than WWE now. Incredibly. Previously, there wasn't enough television to justify it. There is now, but still, people are forgotten for months on end. And the leading rumor, especially according to Wrestling Observer, is that he is going to WWE and that he'll be starting on the NXT brand.
I really hope he doesn't if he goes to WWE.
I just don't understand. You don't put someone like Kazuchika Okada on NXT, not as NXT is now. No, it would have been a huge deal back in the day under the black and gold era. It's a rite of passage to drop a big name in NXT and let them do their thing. But now, there are no big names on NXT. Okay, they're building their own big names, and there are big names for NXT like your Carmelo Hayes, your Bron Breakkers, etc. But gone are the days of a roster of Shinsuke Nakamura and Finn Balor and Samoa Joe and Adam Cole. The big names that came in and made the splash from elsewhere. So I don't see it.
No,
but at the same time, this is WWE we're talking about, and Shawn Michaels is still in charge of NXT, so he could make that push. But no, that would be the worst thing because that will kill any star power or momentum that Okada would bring in. It'd be like, he can't be that big if he's going on NXT. He clearly needs some work to be polished. Like, no. This is Kazuchika frickin' Okada. He debuts in the Royal Rumble, hopefully, but I don't see it based on the fact he's got 2 more dates. It would be incredible for him to debut in the Rumble. And massive kudos for the first time in years for WWE not kind of naming absolutely everyone that's going to be in the Rumble. I think they've only named like 6. There's only been 6 people who have declared. That's where all my air quotes declared for the Royal Rumble.
Declare.
So it's a surprise-packed night, hopefully. But where do you want him to go? If we narrow it down to those 3, WWE, AEW, or TNA, where do you want Okada to be? Where would you enjoy watching him the most?
I'd love him to be in WWE. I would honestly, but not in NXT. If he comes in, say he debuts in the Rumble, that'd be fantastic. I think that'd be dream for both of us, really. Don't know if we can see it happening. But if he then goes on to like the Raw or SmackDown and then just goes with it, or like goes and like sorts out Shinsuke Nakamura or something.
Well, this is it. There's obviously, it depends how much they want to lean into Kazuchika Okada's past. And you would assume that they do want to lean into his past, because otherwise you've got to build him from scratch, and he doesn't come in as a main event star that he is. And so you think about the history of Kazuchika Okada, has to be linked with Shinsuke Nakamura, the man who started the Chaos faction, and I do believe was Shinsuke's last opponent in New Japan. Could be wrong on that, but certainly that was the torch that was passed when Shinsuke left New Japan, was that it went to Okada and Okada ran with it. So, and Shinsuke Nakamura has been rather quiet on Raw for the last few weeks. It could be because they're waiting for the Royal Rumble. Shinsuke Nakamura is one of the few that is declared for the Rumble. Can you imagine somehow Shinsuke is on his own in the ring, and Okada's, or whatever Okada's music's going to be, that I hope they make something similar.
Have the coin drop at the beginning.
You have to have the coin drop, absolutely. And it needs like that similar kind of doo-doo drum beat to get things going. So like the intro needs to be the same. If you want to mix it up after that and change it and make it a bit more kind of, WWE like, because it's a very, very kind of Japanese New Japan theme. It really is. It's like a hallmark of New Japan for their music to sound like that. But I want to see it. It's possible because he's no longer under contract.
Yeah, he is freelance.
But he has agreed to do these two more dates, the 4th of February and the 11th of February. So that would basically be, he debuts at the Rumble on Saturday.
Yeah.
He's there on Raw, probably. So we're the 27th for the Rumble, is it? Let's have a look at the calendar here.
Yes.
27th for the Rumble, 29th for Raw.
Yeah.
Gives him basically a week to get back to Japan.
Yeah.
Do the 4th, which is a Sunday. Do the 11th, which is also a Sunday. Could be back in time for the Monday the 12th Raw. So would only miss 1 week of Raw, and that would just...
I'd be well up for that.
Yeah, that would be really cool. Or if he did the Raw after the Rumble and then did the SmackDown, you could probably get both in. Don't know. Yeah, it's a pipe dream. I don't think it's going to happen, but
no,
one can hope.
We can dream.
It's the era in which we do slightly get what we want from WWE now, rather than just saying, "Oh, that's a nice pipe dream. It'll never happen."
Yeah,
stranger things have happened. If CM Punk can come back to WWE, I think Okada can debut in the Rumble and then go and wrestle 2 matches in Japan. I think that hell froze over once. It can happen
WWE
again.
WWE let Shinsuke go do the... Oh, what's his face?
Yeah, the Great Muta's retirement tour in Noah. And Charlie Dempsey recently went to All Japan Pro Wrestling and did a thing there. Apparently, that was WWE or Triple H's idea, not All Japan. Maybe he is trying to
possibly
make friends in Japan. Wouldn't it be a massive coup for Triple H to sweet talk the new New Japan Shacho in Hiroshi Tanahashi and convince New Japan to only work with WWE instead of AEW and just completely ruin the notion of Forbidden Door and all of that kind of stuff?
Love that.
It would be pretty hilarious.
It would be hilarious.
It would be pretty funny.
It would just be literally like Triple H going, "All right, AEW, screw you."
Yeah, it would be cool.
All you've got to work with is TNA.
Yeah, but and we've gone on a bit of a tangent here. There's one side effect of working with New Japan that would be incredible.
What?
Being allowed to use the Bullet Club name. Or, the club, the OC, whatever you want to call them. If they could be called Bullet Club US or Bullet Club OC or OG Bullet Club, just being able to use the name Bullet Club would be like
Bullet Club Originals.
Yeah, would be a major like cool thing for me, and I would be very excited by that. So yeah.
Oh.
Yes. Watcher Tamsin and anybody else out there in the world of Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, the moon, everywhere else we're broadcasting.
The moon.
Hope you're all well. We are very deep in discussion today, and we've got lots more discussion to come. The news that everybody wants to talk about, we'll be discussing towards the end of the show.
Yeah.
We're in our kind of New Japan chat at the moment because that's the events that have happened this week. So we will transition now into our chat about the new beginning in Nagoya, which took place last weekend. I'm not going to go through it in excruciating detail.
No.
But there are some definite things to talk about, as well as some things to talk about in the two Road to New Beginning shows that took place yesterday and on Tuesday. So first of all, predictions. We came into this New Japan triple with me on 45 and you on 43. Currently leading by 2. As I mentioned last week, I am not lining up my chickens and doing math with them yet, but I'm trying to find my abacus in case math is required and counting chickens might be a thing that happens. So moving through that, we mostly agreed.
Yeah.
On the events or the matches that we agreed, we did pretty well. Opening match, the Young Lions, Katsuya Murashima and Sho Makato went to a time limit draw.
Yeah.
Can see that happening a fair bit, actually. Might be worth, making a little mental note for us there in terms of predictions that a time limit draw is also a variable in these things that we might want to predict. Then Shota Umino and Tomoyaki Honma versus the House of Torture's team, Ren Narita and Yujiro Takahashi. We both went for the House of Torture. Picked up our first point each there. In the other match involving the House of Torture, we went for the House of Torture. We went for El Desperado and Master Wato over the House of Torture, which means we didn't get a point there. In the... What else did we agree on? In the King of Pro Wrestling title match, the Ishimori Ring Fit match, which we will talk about because that was nuts. We both went for Ishimori retaining, so got that wrong. We went for the Gorillas of Destiny retaining the tag team titles and picked up a point each there. We both went for Evil to win the main event and picked up a point there. Where we differed, it worked almost exclusively in my favor. So, United Empire versus Bullet Club. I went for the Bullet Club, obviously. Bullet Club War Dogs. And you went for United Empire, so that gives me a point difference there. In the 6-man tag between Chaos and TMDK, I went for TMDK and got a point, whereas you went with Chaos. In the 10-man tag team match between all of Just 5 Guys and all of LIJ? Is there 5 of them?
I think it was all of LIJ.
Might be one more, possibly, but most of LIJ, if not all of them. Regardless, you went for LIJ, I went for Just 5 Guys, and picked up another point there. Which means that coming to the end of New Beginning in Nagoya, the score was Jez 6, Dan 3. Which is another 3 difference.
Yeah.
We'll get to the last 2 matches that we predicted. We predicted the title matches from the other 2 shows, not the entire thing, and we'll get to those a little bit later. But all signs point to chicken math.
Fair enough.
I think is the way to put that. Now, from New Beginning in Nagoya, let's talk about some of these matches. As I said, the KOPW 2024 10-minute Ishimori Ring Fit match. Taiji Ishimori and Great-O-Khan. For those that did not watch or don't know what what that is from the title, and why would you? This was a match in which it was broken into 4 rounds, 3 3-minute rounds and 1 1-minute round. And in between each of the rounds, there was some cardio to complete. So, yeah, there was mountain climbers, there was burpees, there was press-ups, there was squats, and it was, I had no idea that this was happening as part of the match.
No.
And I don't think I would have changed my prediction from Ishimori if I had known, because as displayed itself in the match, Taiji Ishimori is a cardio monster, and Great Khan looks like me, frankly. Yeah. What did you think about this match? And would you like to see another one?
Not really.
It was
just
different.
a bit fun.
Yeah.
But I don't think I can see it catching on.
I think it would be cool to have it between 2 people who could actually do the cardio bits in between.
Yeah.
And the idea that you are trying to tire them out. Maybe 10 minutes is too short for this kind of thing. And you do a 4-minute round cardio, 4-minute round cardio, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Until there's a winner.
Yeah.
But yeah. I low-key liked it. I thought it was entertaining. The only thing that I didn't really like was the ending.
Oh yeah, where he just put his hand on it.
Yeah, and it did say in the rules, the person who has his hands on the title at the end of the match wins. I, like the commentary team, did not think that was meant literally, as in, if you just literally touch the title when the bell rings, you win. Walker Stewart was just as shocked as I was that Great Khan had won the belt just by laying on the ground with his hand on top of it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was a bit weird. I kind of feel like if you were going to put the belt on Great Khan and you wanted the belt on Great Khan, why not just do that in the Fatal 4-Way in the first place? I've got another point then, because I predicted Great Khan for that Fatal 4-Way last week. But, yeah, I kind of liked it. Do I want to see it every week? No. Do I want to see it every now and again? Probably. No. Not for a title. You say no, I say yes. No. Not for a title. Just for a bit of fun, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was what it was. It was entertaining.
It was what it was.
Mm-hmm. Tamsin's getting on board with the counting of chickens and before they hatch and all that kind of thing. How do you teach maths to a chicken?
Very hard.
You give it lots of examples. Thank you, Tamsin. I'm glad to have elicited that reaction from him. Examples, Dan. Now, I know you're dyslexic, so I'll explain it to you. The egg bit sounds like the X bit. X, egg, they sound the same. Egg, some.
Shut up.
Next match to talk about, another title match. New Japan Strong Openweight Tag Team titles. Gorillas of Destiny versus the Bullet Club, the team of Chase Owens and Kenta.
So, can I ask you a question?
By all means.
Are the Bullet Club and Bullet Club War Dogs 2 different things?
No. So, Bullet Club is the overarching club.
Yeah.
Okay. Within the Bullet Club, there are now 2 different factions. Well, 3 if you count Gold over in AEW. But in New Japan, there are 2 different factions.
Yeah.
Bullet Club War Dogs is the majority of the team that you see in New Japan, led by David Finlay.
Yeah.
And the House of Torture are also in Bullet Club.
Yeah.
That does not countenance the outliers who are in Bullet Club but are not in Bullet Club War Dogs or the House of Torture. They are just kind of holdovers hanging on from the old Bullet Club, like the 2 in TNA, Chris Bay and Ace Austin.
Yeah.
Although they did wrestle alongside the War Dogs at whatever that was, the Philadelphia crossover show that they did with Impact and New Japan that was
that thing
bad. And there's also, I can't remember their name, the general looking dude with the head tattoos. He's in Bullet Club, and the ginger Aussie with the massive beard, he's also in Bullet Club, but not in War Dogs or the House of Torture. So basically, yes and no. I hope that answered your question.
You've made that clear as mud.
Yeah. Well, I've made it as clear as New Japan will allow me.
Okay.
Yes. But Chase Owens and Kenta,
yeah,
despite the fact they don't wear the War Dogs paraphernalia,
yeah,
are considered part of Bullet Club War Dogs.
Right.
Anyone who's in New Japan now and isn't in the House of Torture is considered a War Dog. Yeah. When they come out, it's the War Dogs Bullet Club logo that's next to them, rather than the old school chevrons.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Fair enough. Anyway.
This team of Chase Owens and Kenta teaming up for the first time, apparently, which is shocking. And were unsuccessful in their attempt to dethrone the New Japan Strong Openweight Tag Team champions of El Fantasma and Hikuleo. This wasn't the greatest match, if I'm being honest, and it was originally supposed to be an IWGP heavyweight tag team title match, but they decided to push that to either the 4th or the 11th of February and do the Strong first.
Decided to push those belts onto the little child in the front row. Yeah.
I find it hilarious when ELP tries to put the belts on people in the crowd. There was that one couple, the man and the woman, and he was like trying to get the woman to come up, and she came up fairly easily, and he put the Strong belt on her, and then her assuming boyfriend was over, and he was like, and he was just sat there, and he's like, I'm gonna put the belt on you for a photo. Like, come here. And he still just sat there, and he's like, didn't move. And then finally he goes, oh, and then just starts to get up, and the ELP just looks at the camera and goes, as if to say, how dumb is this person?
Like, I do like ELP.
I do like ELP as well. Yeah. I think he's going to really struggle to find a place now that Tama Tonga is going as well. What does the Gorillas of Destiny look like without all of the original Gorillas of Destiny? Like, it's going to be weird, at least for my money. But not the greatest match, but fine. Kenta's new haircut looks fantastic. Yeah, he looks like a champion. I did not know that he was still living in Florida until it was brought up on commentary. Yeah, he's still living in Florida, assumingly in the same house that he had when he was in NXT. So he most of the time he lives in America and travels to Japan for shows, which makes me wonder, why isn't he spending more time in TNA? Because Kenta as TNA World Champion would be badass.
Be amazing, wouldn't it?
Yeah. And it's much more money for Kenta. Kenta likes making money, you'd assume. So do it. Yeah. Do it. But as we are now, I'm intrigued by the story of Kenta and Chase Owens not being on the same page. And I'm wondering if that's going anywhere. Will one of them be ousted from Bullet Club, or is it just a method by which they don't win the titles next month, which is probably the answer. Yeah. Because I can see LP and Phantasmo being the champs of both New Japan and New Japan Strong for quite some time, to be honest. Any other thoughts on this match from you?
Not really, just it was a fine match. Just fine.
All right, we'll move on to the main event then.
Yep.
Never openweight title, not tag team title. Tama Tonga defending against Evil.
Shaky camera.
Yeah, that shaky camera, I can't look at it. I don't know if I've mentioned that on this show before.
You've mentioned it a very amount of time.
Yeah. Ugh, makes me ill. Anyway, what did you think of this match?
I thought it was a good match, actually. I enjoyed it. I do like Evil.
Me too.
He's just cool. He's stolen another belt that he hasn't, and using Tama Tonga's hair on the sign. Great, why not?
If your name is Evil, you've got to be as heel as you can possibly be, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
He's not going out there kissing babies and hugging puppies. Like, he's got to be a bad guy. He's evil.
Yeah.
Clues in the name, folks.
Yeah. I liked the fact that the match got thrown out to begin with, and then Tama Tonga was like, "Nah, we're having this. Let's have a lumberjack match."
Yeah, I've got a title to lose. Damn it! I've stopped working here next week.
Yeah, come on. I'm not going to be Okada. So, yeah, and during that time, flipping Tama Tonga, flinging Evil into the guardrail. That was hard, man.
And obviously, poor timekeeper Abe also bit it from the from his table being knocked into him, as is tradition.
As is tradition with an Evil match.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I liked Evil trying to walk out with the title, and then ELP just going twist, nipple twist.
He hasn't done that for a few weeks actually, so it was good to see the nipple twist back again.
No, using the magic killer on the ref, that was good fun. Why not? I like Red Shoes as a ref because he just seems to be so in it and so up for anything.
Yeah, and I like especially in the House of Torture matches that he does the hear no evil, see no evil thing.
Yeah.
Like whenever they're being like underhanded, he's like, "No, I'm not counting. I'm not participating in this match until you stop cheating." And so he either goes in the corner and does hear no evil, or he just stands in the middle of the ring and goes see no evil, and it's just it's a lot of fun. And
it's good fun. Yeah, he's so into it.
They're like, count. He's like, no, not doing it.
Yeah, and then obviously it was an inevitable outcome.
Yes,
but
yeah, I mean, it stood to reason that the person who would still be working in New Japan Pro Wrestling would win the belt over the person that finishes in New Japan Pro Wrestling in 4 days as of recording. So it's done basically because there are no other televised events in New Japan Pro Wrestling. So maybe Tama Tonga's on his way to wherever the Royal Rumble is. Where is the Royal Rumble? I don't even know what city it's in, but
in America. Yeah,
America. He's off to America to be in the Royal Rumble. I don't think he's going to be in the Royal Rumble. I do think he's signed with WWE. Do you know where I think we see him?
Where?
Helping Roman Reigns retain the WWE Universal Undisputed Global, whatever it's called, Championship, and becoming a member of the Bloodline.
Yeah.
Because while he isn't part of that family, you have the fact that he is Haku's son, and that Rikishi and Haku, the head shrinkers, were a team, and that while they're not the same family, the families are linked. Still the Bloodline. Tama Tonga fits right in there, and they just need more members in the Bloodline now that they sent main event Jay off to Raw.
Yeah. Royal Rumble's in Pittsburgh.
Thank you very much. The pits, as they probably don't call it, because that would be quite insulting. ZLKKM, interesting name. Welcome in.
Hi.
Wrestling, very interesting. We think so. Hope you do as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move on then to the road to the New Beginning tour, starting with the main event of the 23rd of January event. IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship, El Desperado versus Yoshinobu Kanemaru. Prediction first. We both went for El Desperado. Got that right, which takes us to 7-4 in my favour.
Right.
What did you think of this one?
He was alright.
Yeah, it wasn't anything particularly special. The outcome was fairly inevitable. I think it was just an opportunity to see more House of Torture shenanigans, really. It was a lot of fun from that aspect. And it was quite nice to see lots of different allegiances come and jump to El Desperado's rescue, not including the stable he's actually in. Yeah, so he is in the Strong Style stable, which at the moment is just him and Minoru Suzuki because Ren Narita went and joined the House of Torture.
Yeah.
But he was rescued by the Guerrillas of Destiny and by the Hontai faction.
Yeah.
And he still calls himself in Strong Style, even though that's just a team. It's very confusing, and I'm still not quite sure why El Desperado isn't just in LIJ as, you know, a Mexican style wrestler. I just don't. It's probably history there, but I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm going on a bit of a kind of mind warp kind of tangent, but you'll indulge me. The match was fine. It wasn't anything special, but it was nice to see Kanemaru get a shot at this IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship, considering how many Junior Heavyweight titles he's won elsewhere in other companies. Maybe he'll get this one day, if he can trade that whiskey he's got in for it, possibly. The other big news from January 23rd was Master Wato started the show, informing us that he has an ACL tear and requires surgery. Will be out for many, many months. It's quite sad. I quite enjoy Master Wato. I do wonder if this is going to give him the opportunity possibly to leave the junior heavyweight division behind.
Yeah.
And move up to the heavyweight division and just come back and boss that, because he's quite big for a junior heavyweight anyway.
Yeah. Because
he's a tall bloke. So he doesn't really fit in fully in that division. It's just the fact that he's young and skinny, and that was the way it came from the dojo for him.
Yeah.
So sad to see him go, but could be an opportunity for him to come back stronger and do better. If he's surgery now, let's say 6 months to recover, that puts him in September-ish time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not really the best time to come back in New Japan. You've already had G1 Climax. You don't really get a look in on Wrestle Kingdom unless you've done something in G1 Climax, even if you haven't won it. So, I don't know. I guess he's hoping for this time next year return, and we'll see. That's the only problem with the New Japan calendar. If you're not active in the summer months, you kind of screwed for another year until that rolls back around. But there you go. And then there were 2 matches of note on the 24th. But we will probably talk about the Ren Narita Shota Umino rivalry for long to come, so we'll put a pin in that one for today. The match worth talking about: Never Openweight 6-man Tag Team Championship. The champion team of Kazuchika Okada, Hiroshi Tanahashi, and Tomohiro Ishii taking on the TMDK team of Mikey Nichols, Shane Haste, and Kosei Fujita. We both, like right-minded, knowing that Okada's leaving the company individuals, went for TMDK to win. Yeah. Because obviously the belts need to go to someone else because Okada's leaving. Yeah. And so obviously Okada, Tanahashi, and Ishii won, didn't they? Yeah, that makes sense. Of course. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. So that means that we will finish this week of predictions with me on 7 and you on 4. I'll do the final score in a minute. Let's talk about this match first. Okada's last contracted match with New Japan Pro Wrestling. Yeah. Was it a fitting final match as far as you're concerned? So.
Yes. Very good. A lot happening. Crowd were all behind him. And he was rather emotional.
He was very emotional. Yeah. It was quite nice to see, actually, how emotional he was, because you could accuse Okada of being a bit wooden and emotionless.
Yeah.
And so it was nice to see how much he really cared, especially considering how big the crowd were behind him, and they really were. It's kind of shocking, really. I'm not sure it happens in any other country that an outgoing star is cheered quite as heavily. You know, there's a little bit of a betrayal there.
Yeah.
In leaving the company to go and try something else. So I don't know whether in America they cheer for him. Yeah. It's like if John Cena decided he would just be booking it and going off to Impact in the middle of the height of his career, they'd probably boo him. You know, the prime example is both Brock Lesnar and Goldberg on the way out of the company wrestling their last match at WrestleMania 20 and both being booed relentlessly because they were leaving. The Rock being booed relentlessly at SummerSlam 2002 because he was leaving. Like, it just doesn't happen anywhere but Japan.
No.
So, the thing that I really liked was the Kosei Fujita interaction and the huge parallel that existed between Tanahashi and Okada and Okada and Fujita. It was like another passing of the torch moment. And I do believe that one of the two matches that Okada has left is a one-on-one match with Kosei Fujita, which they are putting a rocket under this kid, and I love it. Yeah. Because he outgrew being a young lion very early, was probably the earliest in his young lion journey to be added to a stable, and kind of he was kind of main roster, as it were, before he even went on his excursion. So I think they see big things for him and a big future for him. And I can see him beating Okada.
Yeah,
I can honestly see him beating Okada.
I can see it as well.
I wonder which way around this is. It must be his last match. Must be on the 11th. I'm pretty sure he faces Tanahashi on the 4th. So his last match in New Japan is against Kosei Fujita, and it's probably going to be a loss on his way out. That's incredible that Kosei Fujita is going to beat Okada.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome.
That'd be cool.
But in this match, he was resilient. He didn't die. He got the hell beaten out of him. And there was so many parallels to breaking in with against Tanahashi and even against Nakamura as well. For Okada. So really cool match. I'm not sure I agree with them winning and then Okada vacating. Yeah, it does create an interesting story, I suppose, of who steps into that role. Yeah, it's probably just going to be bloody Toru Yano or somebody rubbish like that. But what are you going to do about it? But decent, very decent. Yeah. Any other thoughts on this match?
No, just that I enjoyed it.
Great, you enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it. That was just so you could get that in there, wasn't it?
Of course.
Jesus Christ.
While I'm in, smug mode, let's move on to the prediction score as it stands with one event left to go, the WWE Royal Rumble this weekend. I am on a score of 52 for the quarter. You are on a score of 47. As it stands right now, there are 4 matches announced for the Royal Rumble, so there is nothing that you can do about it. If they add more matches, and I get them all wrong and you get them all right, you can still win. But being as it's the Royal Rumble, I think it's time to gather the chickens, to be honest. Or at least the eggs, so I can count the chickens before they hatch. I'm really running with this chicken theme. I don't even know what I'm talking about myself anymore. But I think I'm going to win, Dan. Is what I'm saying.
Can I just say something?
Yeah.
How you actually forgot?
I did forget
to predict this event.
I shouldn't give you too much of a hard time.
Me, out the kindness of my heart, let you predict in the morning when the thingy had done.
Yes. It was very gracious of you, and so I shouldn't really rub it in your face too much.
No.
And I do thank you for your grace. You're owed one though, when you inevitably forget one or something.
Yeah.
Because we both forgot one the other day, so it's not just me.
Yeah.
It's the first one that only I've forgotten, but
yeah.
No, I woke up on what was it, Monday morning? Must have been, or Sunday morning.
No, it was Sunday morning.
Sunday morning, and you messaged me about something. I'm like, oh yeah, forgot. Damn, yeah. But I hadn't been on social media yet. Luckily, like you caught me on Duolingo as I get up and I do a Duolingo learning Japanese thing first thing in the morning. So I hadn't been on any social media yet. So luckily I hadn't had it spoiled for me, which is really rare actually, because it would have been, if I'd have seen a result, that would have been it. I'd have been like, oh, I guess I'm done. I can't predict. That's the end of that.
Yeah.
Although saying that, you didn't get many right anyway, so it wouldn't have been a huge difference, I suppose. What would you have got out of it? Let's have a look. One. I'd have got three. Three out of it. So that would have put you one ahead.
I would have gone ahead.
Yeah, by one. Yeah, and then we'd have ended up tying, and that would have been annoying. It's better this way. Go with it. Now then.
I'm going to send you the old belt.
What, as well? That's nice of you.
Just the old belt.
I'll dual wield. It's fine. Probably break my spine holding them both because
you're not Roman Reigns.
I'm not Roman Reigns. No. Anyway, that is our New Japan section of the show done. That is my gloating done, at least for a couple of days until next week.
Right, let's get into proper stuff.
And let's get into the real big, juicy, meaty news of the week, which first came on Tuesday. And it was the news that WWE Raw in the US has finally found a new home for 2025. We already knew where NXT was going. It's going to the CW. We already knew where SmackDown is going. It's going to the USA Network, which is where Raw currently is. But Raw didn't have a home. Now it does. Raw is moving to Netflix in 2025 in the United States. The first time in the program's history that it will not be on a broadcast channel, either free-to-air or cable.
Yeah.
So it's historic in that aspect. So your thoughts, first of all, just on this part of it, because there is more to it, but Raw to Netflix in the US.
I was like, okay, fine. Doesn't really affect me. So, whatever.
It was also announced at the time that not only would it be on Netflix in the US, but in the UK, Europe, and Latin America as well.
I was like, okay, yeah, fine. I guess I'll just be watching Raw on Netflix then.
Yeah, I mean,
I have Netflix.
It's weird to say, but most people do have a Netflix subscription or access to a Netflix subscription, shall we say, through somebody else's enterprising kindness. But the story doesn't really end there. And it's really strange that WWE themselves didn't lead with this. Here's another article. This is from Wrestling Inc. Not only will Raw be on Netflix here in the UK, but all of WWE's programming will be on Netflix. Anything that was on the WWE network will be on Netflix starting in 2025. Raw, NXT, SmackDown, and premium live events.
Yeah.
WrestleMania in April 2025 will be on Netflix in the UK.
Yep.
And in various other countries around the world.
Yep.
Most of them, in fact.
Yep.
So when you look at this 10-year, $5 billion deal, just zoom in a little bit. 10-year, $5 billion deal. It starts to make a bit more sense now.
Yeah.
When it was you spent $5 billion on Raw in the US. Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
No. Netflix have bought the WWE network in every country but the US.
Yes.
That is huge.
Yeah.
That is insane. And
that's all right. It means I can get rid of BT Sport.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, they already lost NXT because that contract ran out at the beginning of the year. I think that the Raw and SmackDown contract probably ran out as well, but they've just, gone, all right, here's some more money. We'll keep it as long as we can.
Yeah.
But that opens the door for AEW to move to TNT in the UK as well, which they'll probably do because it's the same company and that'll be cheap.
Yeah.
Warner Brothers Discovery already have the rights in the US for AEW, so just handing them over to their British arm is not really a hardship.
No.
But that is nuts.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to actually pay for Netflix myself instead of piggybacking on somebody else's now.
Yeah.
I think. Because...
well, I mean, it's not too expensive, I don't think.
No, you can get it for as little as £6 or £7 a month, I think. As long as you're okay with some adverts and stuff. But that's what ad blockers are for. You get the ad supported package and then choose an ad blocker, don't you? That's what normal people do. So that is huge. That is absolutely huge. And so the WWE Network, as we know it, will end.
Cease.
As they said in Robot Wars, cease. At the end of 2024. Which means if you're already paying for the WWE Network, which you are, and you're already paying for Netflix, that's a net saving of $9.99.
Exactly.
Because you don't need to pay for the WWE Network anymore.
Banging.
You can buy me Netflix with that $9.99. How about that?
No.
I guess I'll have to keep piggybacking off friends then.
Yes, you will.
Pay for it myself. Doesn't sound fun. I don't like this paying for it myself kind of like. Doesn't really do it for me, if I'm honest. I'll find some more piggybacking candidates as well.
Dear me.
On the back of that news, and this is the news that WWE have wanted to talk about more, which is weird because the Netflix news is much, much bigger. Dwayne The Rock Johnson was named this week a full member of the TKO Group Board of Directors. TKO, if you don't know, are the parent company to WWE now that own WWE and UFC. And in doing so, they granted The Rock full ownership of his name, The Rock. So no longer does he need to be known as Dwayne Johnson. He can just call himself The Rock.
Yeah.
Which I guess he wanted to do.
Yeah.
And couldn't do. This could mean we cement The Rock's position as a WrestleMania competitor.
Mm-hmm.
It could mean we never see The Rock on television again because he wants to keep things separate.
Yeah, possibly.
I think it's probably the former.
Yeah.
And that The Rock being part of the board of directors makes it more likely that he will be at WrestleMania to face Roman Reigns for the title.
Yeah.
So could we see, for the first time in probably about 20 years, a member of the WWE board of directors in the Royal Rumble?
Maybe.
Quick bit of trivia. What was the last year that a member of the WWE board of directors won the Royal Rumble?
Would it have been Triple H when he beat Roman Reigns in the Royal Rumble?
I thought I was going to trick you. I thought I was going to swerve you then.
He beat Roman Reigns in the Royal Rumble because they made Roman Reigns put the title on the line in the Royal Rumble.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well done.
Stuck on that.
What year was that?
God knows.
I need to look that up myself, because I did think I was just going to trick you, and so I wouldn't need this information. Triple H wins Royal Rumble. That says 2016. Let's see if that's right.
Yep.
2016. Yes.
Blimey.
And he will have been on the board of directors in 2016, I believe.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because he was part of the authority, wasn't he?
Yeah, but while he was in the authority, he wasn't necessarily actually in the board of directors. Join the board of directors. There you go, since 2015. So that is indeed the correct answer. Congratulations. I am impressed.
Give me a point.
I will give you a point, actually. I'm impressed with that. When we go back to the main screen, I'll give you a point, because I'm impressed with that.
4 away, baby.
If that's the difference, I'm going to cry. But I am impressed to the point that I will give you a point for that. Your thoughts on The Rock being a member of the board of directors and potentially winning the Royal Rumble? The Rock conversation. Let's go for it.
Yeah, fine. Whatever. I can't see him winning the championship though against Roman Reigns.
No, and I wouldn't want that, frankly.
No.
We've already got a part-time champion. We don't need an even more part-time champion.
No.
Around the same time that WrestleMania will be either the first or second week of the United Football League kicking off its season, which is, for those that don't follow American football, the merger of The Rock's XFL with the other spring league known as the USFL. They've come together as one. And so The Rock has got some other responsibilities outside of this new job that he's got. He's got more jobs than somebody who's got a lot of jobs, to be quite frank. I did have an analogy in my head, but it went.
It didn't go well.
It did not go well. No. He's got more jobs than someone with a lot of jobs. You heard it here first.
Oh, God.
Right, let's drop back to our main scene before I say something else stupid.
Sanity.
Right, let's put the scores on the doors, and we will change this from a 47 to the 48.
Yeah.
Because, I am impressed.
Baby.
Now, this is not for another point, but I just want to stump you at some point. What was the other year that Triple H won the Royal Rumble? Because this I do have in my head. I don't have to Google this one. He's doing the calculations. He's like, was I even born? Yes, just about. Was I watching wrestling? No, probably not.
Was it in the 90s?
What? Well, you want me to narrow it down for you?
Yeah, it doesn't narrow it down much.
Well, it does. It narrows it down from 50 years to within 10 years, doesn't it?
Was I born? Probably, yeah. I want to say 96.
Way off, I'm afraid.
Was it?
Way off. It was not in the 90s.
Damn it.
It was the 2002 Royal Rumble. After Triple H returned from tearing his quadriceps in 2001. Triple H missed the entire WCW invasion story and then came back the following January to win the Royal Rumble.
Poor guy.
Yeah. And then 2 years prior to that, in 1999, is when Vince McMahon won the Royal Rumble, which was the last time before 2016 that a member of the WWE Board of Directors won the Royal Rumble.
Fair enough.
Fair bit of nepotism going on in WWE. That won't surprise anybody that has ever heard of Vince McMahon, I'm sure. But there you go. Right. Well, on that note, that will bring our show to a conclusion. Thank you very much to everyone that's joined in, wherever you have tuned in. Next week, we will be discussing the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
And I think there are various ways that it can go, There are 3
Yeah.
main permutations for WrestleMania main events, and I don't like any of them. So I'm hoping to be swerved, but if Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, or Gunther don't win the Royal Rumble, I will be very surprised. And that's half of the field that have been announced for the Royal Rumble, the men's Royal Rumble at least.
Yeah.
Maybe there'll be some surprises in the women's Royal Rumble, but I've got my thoughts about who will win that as well. You'll hear all about those thoughts and predictions as we move into the show next week. Do enjoy the Royal Rumble on Saturday. If you're up, why not send me a tweet at JezDoesWords on Twitter, X, whatever, and chat along, because I'll be up late. You won't be.
I won't be.
No.
I'll be watching it probably Sunday afternoon.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Until next week, I've been Jez.
I've been Dan.
This has been the Main Event Podcast. And did you know The Rock has more jobs than someone with a lot of jobs? Goodbye.